More calls are coming for the review of the bilateral air service agreements between Nigeria and its partners in other countries. But that's because Nigeria's benefits appears not to be at par with those of its partners. Some cite the lack of a national carrier for the lopsidedness, while others think otherwise. That's our focus on today's program. Welcome to Aviation This Week. I am BC Adebayo. Our background report takes a look at how best the BASA agreement can favor the local airline operators.
The final days of World War II saw the establishment of international bodies and treaties which, among other things, sought to maintain international peace and security, develop friendly relations among nations, and promote social progress. One of such was the Chicago Convention, which, among other things, established the rules under which international aviation operates. It also gave rise to the formation of the International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO. The need to expand operating areas and make money therefrom led to the Bilateral Air Service Agreement. The Bilateral Air Service Agreement provides the framework under which identified airlines from the two partner countries fly into designated parts in each other's country. Some of the advantages of BASAs include promotion of international air link between countries which promote trade and tourism, deepening of bilateral ties between countries, correction of balance of trade, generation of sufficient national income for the countries involved, and boosting economies. In spite of these advantages and more, there are concerns in some quarters that Nigeria is not benefiting from the agreements. Some are even advocating for restraints in entering into further agreements since Nigeria does not have a national carrier that can fly into any of the partner countries. Some of the countries do not just have entry into the country's airspace, they even have multiple entry points into all international airports. This is seen as portending harm to the domestic airlines. Another harm of the imbalance is the amount of money foreign airlines cart away from Nigeria, even if it is just the one on ticket sales. In all, the country's loss is estimated at over 200 billion naira annually.
Multiple entry point is disastrous, is deliberate annihilation of the domestic market. All the airlines flying to this country, there's a negative balance of trade in the sense of the way frequencies are allocated to them. I'm sorry to use ET all the time. ET is a very good friend of Nigeria. They love us. They're providing service to every corridor of Nigeria. But Yoruba has an adage. Ajoje odu, beni kononi. If we eat together, and I'm always eating in your house, and I don't have, I won't enjoy it because each time I want to eat, I'm knocking your door.
Lack of national carrier is the immediate cause the imbalance is blamed on. But some experts differ, saying policy is solely responsible.
Let us identify with our own. It doesn't have to be Airpeace. Let us support Medview. Let us support Overland, Dana, Arik, Aero. Aero is doing fantastic job with their MRO. We should come to this podium and be praising Nigeria and not eulogizing foreign airlines. Support Nigerian airlines. Some people say, why the foreign countries are not doing this or doing that because we don't have a national carrier. I disagree. Are you going to support only national carrier? No. If national carriers are operating, the indigenous carriers, the private carriers should be supported. Now that we have only private carriers, wherever they are going, they are flying the flag of this country.
In the interim, while waiting for lasting solution to the lopsided agreement, there are some immediate suggestions which are expected to ensure that Nigeria does not lose out on all fronts.
That's why we introduced the 5% ticket sales tax, that at least something can come back to government. Maybe really what you want to do in this is going to continue like that. If you allow 10 people to go to London, you can't make the money the Chinese is making. And it's not your fault. You can't compete with Emirates. It's just sophisticated. It's not, even American Airlines and European, they are afraid of them, talk less of us. What we said was we should have a 10% ticket sales tax, but it was reduced to 5%. Maybe they should take that to 10%, so that the remaining 5% you have, an extra 5%, should go to government coffer as part of return to them.
Summarily, experts are asking for a review of the existing agreements so that the country does not continue to be at the receiving end.
While some are calling for the review of the bilateral air service agreement to address the imbalance, Mr. Chris Aligbe, an aviation consultant, differs. He thinks commercial agreements should be reviewed and not the air service agreement. He's our guest on the program.
BASA, which in full means bilateral air service agreement, came into being in the immediate post-World War II agreements and arrangements within various sectors. I think in the airline subsector, the ICAO came into being immediate post-World War. The role of ICAO, as the International Civil Aviation Organization, was to create an order for operations, airline operations, through the skies, between countries, through countries, to make sure that safety is maintained. Safety, particular safety, is now that security had become a major issue, but it's safety that was the driving force, because immediately aircraft started flying within continents, across continents. The issue of ordering the skies became critical. First and foremost, there's a mistake. You don't review BASA. What is BASA? Bilateral Air Services Agreement. It's reached between two countries. Nigeria has up to 75 or more, almost going to 80 bilateral air service agreements. What does it mean? Nigeria sits with country B and say we have agreed, both of us agreed to operate airline services between our countries, our two countries. And these are the terms. They put the terms down for operation. They designate in the BASA agreement, when they reach in discussions agreement, they designate airlines that will operate. If they have airlines, you designate airline A. From my country, airline A will operate to your country. From your country, airline B will operate to our country. Initially, they can say, look, you have 5 frequencies a week or 3 frequencies a week. We also have 3 frequencies a week. If we don't have an airline, you operate your 3 frequencies. You can use our own 3 frequencies. If we don't have but you have to pay royalty. This was the early beginning. You have to pay royalties for the ones, our own, that you are using. But you are free to use your own without any payment of royalty. These are bilateral service agreement. I don't think that people make mistakes about saying, look, review BASA. No, you don't review what, after bilateral air service agreements have been reached, what comes out of it is commercial agreements. Commercial agreements are reached between two airlines flowing from BASA. Once the country decides, we agree that we should operate airline services between our two countries. Then they designate the airlines that will handle the operation on each side. Those two airlines now sit to reach what is called commercial agreements. It is in the commercial agreements that the issues come. Where will you land? Where do you want to land? How many times? Where is that? What are the terms? And then what you give, it is normally on basis of whatever I get from this side, you also get from this side. You understand? Is in diplomatic relations, foreign relations, about reciprocity. Normal language, people say quid pro quo, but that is what happens. So it has to be on that equal basis, and it's made in a manner that each country benefits from this commercial agreement. From BASA, you develop commercial agreements. BASA is government to government. Commercial agreement is airline to airline, flowing from the agreement on the BASA. So where the challenge is on the commercial agreement.
For more than 5 years, the Minna Airport in Niger State has not operated commercial flights despite being adjudged to have a good runway. The management of the airport blames this on lack of patronage by the people in the state and on the attitude of commercial airliners. That's the focus on our special report.
Mekunkele town in Boso local government is home to the Minna Airport, located about 10 kilometers away from the state capital. This signpost and the statues of a man beating a local drum and another blowing a local flute, which are on the two sides of the road leading to the airport, are the first points of attraction to the visitors heading to the airport. From the main road to the airport is about 3 kilometers, and the road is in a good condition. Commissioned on 20th June 1990 by the then military President General Ibrahim Babangida, Minna Airport, originally built as an alternative to the Abuja Airport, has a runway dimension of 3,400 meters length and a width of 45 meters, which can carry a Boeing 747. The airport manager gives an insight on the facilities available.
It's one of the best runways we have in Nigeria today, because when you get there, you see that there are no alligator, zebra marks there, like cracks and all those things. The runway is still very good. And when we go to air navigation sites like a DME, the distance measuring equipment that NAMA put there, and then we have ILS that we use here, they are all very nice, very good and serviceable. Then we have the approach. Our approach here is now Cat 1. And it's also at least it is 100% now.
According to the airport management, people in the state do not patronize the airport, perhaps due to lack of financial power, while efforts to attract commercial airliners have not yielded much results.
The people in Minna were not patronizing very well. Maybe because Abuja is where most people go, and they...
Perhaps they do. Not from the image, but the speeches attributed to the late president. This lady came all the way from South Africa. Her experience is surreal.
Shocked and interested to see how big this person was, Abraham Lincoln. To have been made such a big memorial in a very big place. I'm also from the World War II Memorial. It's quite interesting how I saw, all the stars and all the cities of the place having a memorial in one place. I see the patriotism, how these people like their country, unlike our country back in South Africa.
Same with this couple from Leeds in the United Kingdom who are having the time of their lives.
We've done about 15 miles each day walking around the monuments, and we really thoroughly enjoyed it. Jan bought it as a surprise present for me, and I went mad with her, which she said she got a bargain, but females like with bargains. The one behind, the obelisk, is obviously Egyptian. and it's so tall. But the difference about that is it's got no features on it. It's got no ornate features. It's so powerful because it's so plain and sparkling, and you can see. We've just been up to Arlington Cemetery, and we had a look.
2 hours.
You spent 2 hours walking there and back, and again pristine, historical. Although we found it quite funny, wasn't it? Obviously, the bigger your position in society, the bigger your monument is up at Arlington. So you know, there's all the little graves, and then there's these huge monuments for the big generals. So that was quite funny.
Other sites of historical value are the Washington Monument and the War Memorials.
Down in D.C. Oh, D.C. Yeah.
The first is connected to the Vietnam War. Names of fallen soldiers can be found here. This man is filled with emotion, primarily because he fought alongside many of them. Flowers are brought by family members to remember their lost loved ones. There is also the World War II Memorial, which had a similar effect. Washington, D.C. holds a lot of history which any tourist will find extremely interesting and feel a sense of connection that will linger for a very long time.
That's where we end today's program. Thank you for watching. I am BC Adebayo. See you next time.